Welcome back to another episode of The Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week was our really cool Christmas special where Matt and I went through our top 10 albums of 2024.
With an exception from 2023, which actually I have some stuff to say about that.
Oh dear, okay.
Yes. Cue the music from that episode.
Yeah.
I made an addendum.
Oh shit.
To my list.
Okay, this is the little bonus family meeting segment. Matt, play the theme song.
Family meeting.
And we're back.
And we are back.
So what is your addendum, Matt, to the family meeting?
So I readjusted my list a bit. Some albums stayed where they were, but quite a few of them actually shifted spots.
Gotcha. Okay.
And someone actually snuck in at number 10 because I was comfortable with this.
Nice.
I also forgot that I listened to it because I didn't write anything down about it at all.
I see. So what do we got then? Is this like a whole updated top 10 list?
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
But I'll go fast. So at number 10, Loss of Life by MGMT.
Gotcha.
While it's not the best of their albums, I will say I did enjoy what I heard. And I liked it more than the Galen Tipton album, which is still the honorable mention.
Gotcha.
That was part of the reason why I made an addendum to this list, because I didn't find that worthy of being in the 10th place.
Yeah.
Because I like it, but like not that much.
Quite, yeah.
Number 9, I have Hotel La Rut, just because I listen to that more than this album. New Sound by Jordy Griep.
Very nice.
Imaginal Disc.
Nice.
Then I have Love Heart Cheat Code. Then I have Brat right on top of that.
So that's number 5?
Yes.
All right.
Then I have No Hands, Pulsar by L'Imperatrice, Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii, and then JPEG Mafia's newest album at the top.
Very cool.
It seemed like once Midwest Princess was established, not released in 2024, I figured maybe I can adjust it quite a lot, and this felt safer.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Well, there we go.
Nice. Hopefully a nice little payoff.
Yeah.
From the last episode.
If you listened to the last episode, now you have closure on Matt's top 10 list officially. And if you haven't, go check that out to see what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah. It needed addendum before the new year.
Speaking of that.
Before we speak of that,
okay.
Just fade the music out.
Oh, that's true.
From
that's
that
true.
episode.
Yeah, family meeting is over now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Family Album. And Happy New Year's, family heads.
Happy New Year's. Wow.
Yeah, what are the chances? Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
It's like we planned this.
Exactly.
The calendar. We AJ and I.
We actually have a little bit of Mayan in our blood.
Watch out for 2027. But yeah, no, this is kind of wild. Like, Christmas Eve. Right?
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve is fucking insane.
Yeah. And we're glad you guys get to spend it with us, and we get to spend it with you. Hopefully it's a nice way to celebrate, warm up for Christmas and the new year.
And if you're trying to escape your family, put on your earbuds and then just fucking
listen to this family album.
We'll be your family.
Yeah, because you're our family heads.
AJ, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're starting off the new year right by discussing two albums that have pretty much nothing to do with each other, other than the fact that I like them. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, a couple things. Both made in the 70s.
That's true.
One is 78, which is Kraftwerk. And the other one, ABBA, is 79.
There we go.
Yeah.
They're 1 year apart.
They are.
I guess you could say they were made... I'm going to drop that one.
New year, something.
I tried my best.
Agamemnon
.exe. Ben Drown.
For all you people who like to decode messages, that one's a doozy, but you can access the key on our website.
If you play it backwards and use the key vinaigrette, you will decipher our code.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. But anyway, the albums we're talking about this week are Kraftwerk's The Man Machine, which I gave to Matt.
And ABBA's Voulez-Vous, which I gave to AJ.
So Matt, what album would you like to start with this week?
I think we should start with Kraftwerk.
All right. Let's start with Kraftwerk then by hopping into a little bit of history. So The Man Machine was released April 28th, 1978 on Kling Klang and EMI Electrola Records, and is the 7th studio album by influential German electronic new wave band Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk formed in 1970, and their lineup at the time of this album's release consisted of Florian Schneider on synths, vocals, votracks, and electronics, Ralf Hutter on keys, electronics, synths, vocoder, orchestron, and vocals, and Karl Bartos and Wolfgang Fleur on electronic drums and percussion. And then Schneider and Hutter also produced this whole album. The Man Machine saw the group satirically tackle concepts of mankind's reliance on machines, the Cold War, and Germany's obsession with manufacturing. And Kraftwerk are also one of the most influential groups of all time, inspiring the likes of Joy Division, New Order, David Bowie, Blondie, Aphex Twin, Bjork, Gary Newman, The Prodigy, and Daft Punk.
Yeah. Boy, howdy are they.
They are quite the group, and they made quite the albums throughout their career.
I've heard. This one was a fascinating one, I gotta say. Because I realized, I think I might have told you a little bit ago, I never really explored their work. They were always kind of in my periphery of like my music rotation for a little while, because I've been kind of on the techno, electro, like even EDM side for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So they've always been like a very familiar name in the mouths of many like fans of that genre, those genres of music. But I never really checked them out. I also never really knew like timeline wise where they slotted. They're kind of like at the beginning.
Pretty
almost.
much, yeah. Very much like the prototype for people to follow in those genres. And I think you can definitely see why and how they were so influential, basically making these like soundscapes using pure electronics so early on when the technology like wasn't quite there yet, which is really impressive.
It is. And the fact that they did this in 1978
right, dude,
is kind of insane.
Yeah, and they were doing stuff before that too, which is awesome.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. So should we just hop right into it without further ado?
Absolutely.
All right, so we start off with The Robots, one of their big singles. It's not my favorite off this album. It's more kind of like a novelty song, I would say. But it's still very catchy for what it is, with like that kind of static loop and like the droning vocals. Very much sounds like a factory.
I'm very happy that you share those same sentiments with me, but that it's not your favorite, because it's not really my favorite either. It's silly.
Yeah, it's fun for what it is.
I think it's a good opener though, because it definitely shows you what you're in for.
Very much so.
Which is good. It's not misleading. I really like the percussive nature of this arrangement in general. I mean, a lot of their like beeps and boops, they're pretty, for those who can't see, which is all of you, I kind of did like a little dance when I said beeps and boops.
So interpret that how you will.
Yeah.
Send us your fan art.
Yeah. mattglass.rule34.
EXE, username 666.
Agamemnon. Yeah, next year is going to be all creepypasta references, guys.
Yeah, we're going to do the Family Album Lost episode that we bought at a yard sale.
The Family Album Backrooms.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wait, that'd be so funny because we just have room tone playing and like the
and like our vocals are like muffled the whole time.
And then we have like growling and certain like
just creatures around.
That's actually a fun idea.
All right, write that down. My new Halloween special, perhaps.
New Halloween special. But yeah, no, I think this track is a good opener for what it's trying to do. I like the percussive nature of it. I like the one synth effect that they do in the left and right channels where like it pans from the center to the left, but then it pans from the center to the right. And it sounds like pure energy. Like something about that. I was like, ooh, it scratches an itch on my brain. It shocked it, I guess, because energy.
Because robots.
Because robots.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I think that is something they do very well all across this album. Like they utilize the channels very well.
They do.
And even though the melodic elements are like really sparse for the most part, they make full use of the space by just like peppering it all around like both channels and like making like full use of what they have. Basically creating these really cool soundscapes that even with a few instruments still sound really fucking cool.
It kind of like the nature of this album reminded me a lot of like Human After All.
Okay.
But a bit more fleshed out and less like abrasive to the ears.
Yeah, it's less crunchy. Yeah, certainly, it's a lot more smooth, which I dig a lot.
Yeah.
This honestly, the song sounds like very Earthbound core with all like the whirs, bleeps, and bloops that like started in the introduction. And even though it is a very simple song in practice, the hook is very catchy for what it is.
It is very catchy.
So they are very good at that with that electro pop influence. And if you couldn't tell, it is about machines.
Very much so. Very much so. The Bert Kreischer themed album.
Exactly. Oh, man, what a loser.
Yeah, fuck that guy, man. I hate him. This is a little bit of a PSA, family heads. If you or a loved one or, I don't know, spouse, friend, if they're into, there's actually a big four of problematic comedians.
Oh, dude, let's go.
Bert Kreischer, Joey Diaz, Tommy Segura, I believe. Shit, who's the...
Is it Matt Rife?
Matt Rife might be the honorary fifth.
Okay.
Maybe even honorary seventh. He's not good enough to be the fifth.
He's like the Foo Fighters of the grunge, of the Soundgarden, Nirvana. God damn it.
Every single time. You know what? Put in the comments who you think the fourth one is.
Question of the week.
Question of the week.
Who's the fourth of the big four offensive comedians?
But those three. Oh, yeah. Bert Kreischer obviously is number 4.
Oh, there we go.
Did I say Bert Kreischer in the beginning?
You might have.
Joey Diaz, Bert Kreischer, Tommy Segura. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It's okay. Well, if any of your friends is like, oh, those 3 great comedians, get the fuck out of that. Red flag. It's terrible.
Yeah.
They're all horrible people.
Mm-hmm. That they are.
And completely tone deaf to class.
Yeah, like very much so.
Like in terms of like
the social awareness.
Social class, yeah.
But something that isn't is The Man Machine by Kraftwerk.
Yes. A great segue. I don't have much more to say about this track, except I kind of wish that like, I mean, I know the nature of this music is pretty repetitive, but I kind of wish that like maybe
there's a little more variety.
A little bit more variety, maybe a bit more of an uptick in energy.
Yeah.
Even. Which is a complaint that I have on this album, but I can't knock on it too much considering it is like
the prototype.
And also, I mean, kind of common in this genre of music.
Like, because most like electronic music is based off of like loops and samples, and then it's just like what they put on top of it that adds the variety. So they got like pretty bare bones stuff to work with, but I think it still like sounds great for when everything's put together.
Yeah.
And if we got nothing else, we can move on to the next track.
That I like a lot more.
We got Spacelab. Which sounds like pinball, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, it's fucking fun as fuck, honestly. Yeah. I love the way that, like, on this one, it has, like, the synths, like, in, like, a chord. Mm-hmm. Sorry. My chord got caught on...
Oh, that's okay.
I said
it's your chord.
I said chord, and then the cord to my headphones got caught on my arm. Almost making me unplug it like all of season 1.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh, man. We should bring that back.
Yeah.
No, we
unplugging Matt's headphones.
Yeah. Someone should do that. But yeah, I like the way that the chords are like stacked on the left channel.
Yeah.
And they sound like really like, I don't even know how to describe it. Just like blocky and solid in like a way. It's just cool.
Yeah. Like, it sounds like a lab in space.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I do really like the kind of like the high pitched like whining keys that bring in like the main melody, like the da-na-na. It's always like a very nice moment when they have that build up that it finally like launches into like something different. And it sounds like it's good payoff. That
intro is really cool. The way it speeds up.
Yeah. They're really good at like creating ambience and just like painting a picture with like very little.
The vocoder effect that just said space.
Yeah.
Like right before, I didn't know it was going to say Spacelab. Mm-hmm. It was like space. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
It's Sans.
Wow.
Look at that.
It's Sans.
Space.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I like this track a bit.
Yeah.
The synth lead on this is really, really nice. Mm-hmm. Like, as sparse as this album might be with melodies,
yeah.
When they do hit, they hit.
I agree.
So
very much so. I think the song is like pretty groovy for what it is as well. Yeah. Just like the like how everything is arranged. I also like the vocoded vocals. I feel like it adds like a nice like layer of flavor on top of the whole thing to like really tie it all together.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like the different like key sound effects they use throughout to create like the imagery of the song is like very interesting.
It is
like the different like what do we have, like the orchestron, the Votrax, all that stuff.
Those sound like Transformers, to be honest with you.
I think that's where Michael Bay got his ideas.
Yeah, Votrax.
My favorite Decepticon.
Autobots.
But yeah, I like this one a lot. Sounds like Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Next up is Metropolis.
This one, I don't know. Like after the first two, these next four, I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I think Metropolis is a really fucking good one.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I would maybe slot it in like my third favorite.
Yeah, I think I would agree. This is either 2 or 3 for me. But I really like this track a lot. I feel like with the instrumentation, it really kind of paints this like dystopian kind of landscape. I would assume like based off the movie as well.
Yeah.
From the 1920s. But like that key hook is like so infectious, and it just like sounds like panic, like sounds like running. It's really cool.
I am a huge fan of how this song starts because like the way the song begins, it's like you got kind of like a synth saw lead of some kind, but the pitch just like raises up and hits like a certain part, and then another one will hit another part of like this triad chord, and then another one will hit another part of the triad chord, But the way that like it continues forward with the chord progression is by like taking out one of them and adding a different one.
I see.
With the two remaining ones already in the air. And it's like something about that I was like, wow, that is really clever.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't have caught that, but that's really cool.
Like they changed the chord progression by just taking out a note and adding one more note. And it's like, wow, that is a really, really neat trick they did.
And effective.
And I think it's cool because like maybe this is just me reading into it, like because like, this could mean nothing. But I was imagining when I was listening to this song, like the said like notes that were shooting up into the sky, I imagine them as like the skyscrapers in the cityscape.
Yeah. That's cool.
So that's kind of what I was like. It leaves a lot of room for you to picture what they're trying to like paint with all these sounds, which I really admired when listening to this.
Yeah, a lot of like the just like the way these pieces sound are up to interpretation. They're very ambiguous. So like they give you kind of like a broad idea and you kind of like fill in the blanks, which is really cool.
I hope everything I said made sense.
A little bit. As someone who is tone deaf, I can't quite understand, but I think I get it with like the taking one out and putting one in. Yeah. To like make it sound different or.
Yeah, like the 3 notes in a triad.
Okay.
And then like you take one note out, but then if you put another note in, it could change the whole chord.
The whole schmingus.
The whole schmingus.
Okay.
That wasn't the part I was worried about not making sense. I meant like the skyscraper part.
Oh no, yeah, that I got.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't
give sense to me.
If anybody wants to challenge my music theory knowledge, send me an email at glass.catboy@hotmail.com.
Yeah, just DM Matt's OF page.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
please. I need activity. I need my
my
metrics
those numbers
boosted.
to go up.
Yeah,
executives on our ass about this.
Oh man, but yeah, this is a really, really cool track.
I do really like it a lot. I also love just like I just really like the sound of like the electro percussion backbeats. I feel like they just like provide such a sense of like urgency and like how they're utilized, and just like it's like honestly almost like a disco beat the way that it's like presented. But like since it's like electronic, is in this way that fits the album's tone like a lot better.
Yeah, no, I would agree. The bass on this one, like the bass synth that's being used, I feel like it adds like some nice movement to it to kind of make it not feel as static.
Yeah,
where I feel like the other two, it did have like I think like a synth bass part, but like
not as pronounced.
This one at least felt like it was moving, like it had a little bit more momentum. So I really appreciated it for that.
And there's a nice little halftime break towards the middle of the song, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And there's like wailing keys kind of come in. That shit's awesome.
If I'm being honest with you, although that this song and the other 3 are like long.
Yeah.
I don't entirely think that it warrants that amount of time.
That runtime? Metropolis specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, I can forgive it more on this track than the last 2 tracks.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you that this earns like the runtime more, but I don't see too much of a problem with it personally. I think like sitting down listening to Metropolis all the way through is fun.
I cared about the runtime less on this track than the other 2.
That's fair. I mean, there's only 6 tracks on this album and it's like almost 40, but I feel like there are definitely moments that kind of slow things down a little bit, but for the most part, I feel like it earns the runtime, especially with this next track.
Yeah.
The Model is awesome. It's my favorite it's my favorite song on the album. And I think it's like it's the closest to like an actual like kind of traditional song, but it is very catchy, and like that just main synth riff is like very intoxicating. I love it.
I didn't like know that this was a new wave / disco album. So when I started hearing like more of a new wave influence, I was like, oh wow, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that.
You really wouldn't after everything you heard prior.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like this one definitely a bit more. Maybe this one might be my number 3, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'd have to figure that out toward the end. But God, the fucking like riffs that they play in the song, they're so like hypnotic in a way. Like something about it.
Yeah, hypnotic is a very good word for it. And I think that actually kind of like ties into what the song's about. Where it's just like this man who sees like a model on TV and then like obsesses over her, like has like a parasocial relationship where he like falls in love with her.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's like what our fans are going to be doing to us.
Exactly. And what they already do, Matt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We've gotten your love letters, family.
I've seen your emails to mattglass@catboy@hotmail. Please stop hounding me.
I'm a cat boy. That's so stupid.
It's so dumb. God. But anyway, that is a really neat concept for the song. And I think like even though the vocals are pretty like
monotone,
I think they very much serve the track very well.
I agree.
Because this album isn't one where you would like, I guess, expect like really like bam kind of vocals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think like the monotone nature kind of adds to the more robotic feel of the album.
They serve their purpose very well, but they're not going to like blow you away. It's very simple like lyric structure and like very little performance in general. They're just kind of like saying the lines.
Yeah.
But like for what they're singing, it sounds very good and it definitely fits the overall tone of the song very well. I also love like the harpsichord-y like sounding break that happens. That's fucking awesome. It sounds like stunning almost.
It does.
Yeah. But yeah, Hypnotic is definitely a very good like way to describe this track. It very much conveys a sense of pining, which is what the song's all about.
Yeah. No, I fuck with it.
And I also love like the outro, like how the keys are just fucking like wailing sore at the end before going into the next track. I really like the model a lot.
I'm glad to hear. So do I.
Thanks, man.
Anything else to say, or shall I move on to a track that I really fucking like?
Let's go on with that. Next up, we got Neon Lights.
This song is pretty.
It is very pretty.
Something about it, I was instantly hooked. Like, I feel like out of all the songs, besides maybe like Metropolis, actually no, besides like maybe the last one, this one I'd be able to recognize like right away.
Yeah, that's valid.
It just like the vocals on this one are actually, I think, a bit better than the last one.
Yeah, there's a lot more like emotion and performance in there.
Even though it's almost 9 minutes, I actually like really enjoyed it from like front to back, especially when he starts doing the O's at the end.
Yeah.
But like it starts to get more and more robotic as he does it. And it's just like a nice song talking about like the cityscape of all the neon lights and stuff. I forget what the actual wording is, but like
it's like glimmering neon lights, something, the fall of night.
In darkest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight.
Nathan Fillion.
Guy Gardner. This song is really, really pretty. I love, this is another instance where like the stacked chords that they have like throughout the song, it just sounds all like sparkly.
Yeah.
And
it's very like twinkly, the song is. It's like, it's almost like magical. Just like you get that sense of like, of just like going to like a neon city. And apparently, even though there's like very little to like dissect about the lyrics of the song, the intention is like a little deeper, which is really interesting. It's about like the inevitable need of technology.
Yeah.
Where like even though we're like scared about like the future and like how like advanced technology can become, there is like a beauty in that, and it is going to be very necessary in our lives going forward. So we should just get used to that.
And oddly, like still, I guess, relevant for right now.
Pretty much so. I do really like just like the overall key like sound font that they use in like each section. Like the main riff is like very catchy. It's very lush, conveying this like very relaxing sound. They have like almost like the 8-bit kind of synth riff that comes in afterwards, like the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, which is really, really cool. And then it goes into like the breakdown towards the end. But not like a breakdown, but like a more like, I guess like a key solo. And there's like very subtle variations they do to like keep things like moving. So like they'll add like a couple little instrumentals, or like some sections will like change a little bit. They add the O vocals at the very end.
Yeah.
So even though like it's not like super in your face, they are like evolving the song as it goes on, which is very impressive.
I really like the ending quite a lot. I think just having like the more human vocals like over top the instrumental, and then like having those kind of turn more and more like robotic sounding as the song goes on. Something about that, I was like, wow, this is hitting. This is hitting in a really, really weird way.
I think one of the things that I really like towards the end is when the keys kind of like start speaking at the end of the solo, and like the way the keys sound matches how the vocal O's kind of come in. So it's like a really cool segue.
I think that's what I thought. I thought it was like that, like the vocals become more robotic. I didn't realize it was keys matching.
It goes keys and then the vocals kind of like sneak in to like switch it up, which is really, really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. But we got nothing else. We can move on to the closing track of this album.
Yes, The Man Machine.
Yes, the title track itself. I think it's okay. It's probably my least or second to least favorite.
I would agree.
Yeah.
This might be controversial.
Okay.
I don't think that this is the best closer.
No.
If you want me to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. It kind of gave me like a bit of a sour note as I was like listening.
Yeah, especially going off Neon Lights too.
Yeah. Something about it, I was like, I don't know. Which thematically might be a good thing. Because if it's like talking about machines throughout the entirety of the album, maybe it's good because machines are cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Machines.
This is like the thesis statement.
Yeah. even if we have a growing attachment and like a need and desire to keep them in our lives, like this could be, I could read the album as a whole with that as the closer in like that direction. But as a song, I'm not too crazy about it. I would even say like the first 3 songs, I mean, well, I like the third one, but like the first 2 songs, I think I enjoyed better than this one.
I agree.
Like it's not bad. Like let me not just like rip on the song. Like it's decent. I'm just not too crazy about it, if I'm being honest.
No, that's fair. I mean, like the overall kind of like main melody is like very synthetic, very like staccato, robotic, which makes sense, but it's not like the most pleasant to listen to.
Tomo arigato,
Mr. Kraftwerko.
Staccato. Oh man.
And then like the vocals are like the most like synthetic they are on the album, where they have like the vocoder filter over top of it, and it's like very like high register, like almost dissonant in a way, like the way that it's presented. It's very barren, and I think, you know, it kind of lives up to the title track, but also doesn't in certain aspects, which is kind of unfortunate. And it also goes on a little too long.
I would say. Yeah. So how long is this one? Is this also 5 minutes?
I think it's like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Where the other ones, even the ones I said didn't warrant the amount of time that they took to get from start to finish.
Yeah.
I feel like this one is like the least likely to earn that.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
If that makes sense. I mean, I know it's not as complicated as the fucking chord structure or the building analogy, but you know, follow with me, family heads.
The classic building analogy.
The building analogy
they teach that in like Berkeley. Yeah,
it'll be used time and time again. People call it the Akira sliding scene of analogies.
Music analysis. Yeah.
You're gonna hear Fantano do it, and you're gonna know
on his Brat review. It was crazy.
That's fucking insane. He's copying me. I coined this shit, man.
He'll be hearing from our lawyers as well as Ronnie Radke's.
Oh man. If I'm being honest with you, I don't really have much else to say about this track.
Yeah, neither do I. I said my piece. I like the synth solo that happens towards the end. It sounds like kind of groovy, and it adds variety to a song that really needs it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's kind of a lackluster closer.
Little bit.
So with that, what are our final thoughts, Matt? What'd you think of The Man Machine by Kraftwerk?
I'm a little conflicted. Like, I feel like I've been spoiled by a lot of techno from, you know, later on in music history, and even like a little bit around this time.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't do a lot for me as a whole. I feel like I've listened like all over the map of electronica, and it just seemed like a step backwards. But then when I finally realized what year it actually came out, I was like, okay, that makes at least a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
But like in a historical sense, it's really interesting to hear how like progressive the sound was becoming in the late 70s and how it would bleed into the 80s and then like to artist to artist to artist to artist, like as the decades go by. And I don't know, like maybe I got to check out more of their stuff because I would imagine like they have albums after this, right?
Yeah, before and after.
Gotcha. So I probably would have to see what their later stuff sounds like.
Yeah.
But it is really, really cool to see where like like one of the predecessors to what techno and electronica would like turn into.
Yeah.
And just dance music in general. I don't really know if I'm going to seek this album out again, if I'm being completely honest.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I can't say that I hated it like at all.
Yeah.
So I would give this like probably like a high C, maybe.
Like a C or a C plus?
C plus probably.
Gotcha.
Like I don't see this really being a B, but I also don't think like it's bad, so I can't go like too low at all. I just think like it's got some really, really high moments like Neon Lights and Metropolis, The Model.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, it just energy wise, it didn't really grab me like all that much.
Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe it's just because I've been spoiled with what comes later down the line.
That's fair.
In this genre. So I didn't really know what to expect. I also didn't know where they slotted. Like,
I just knew they were like
I just knew they were like a familiar name to a lot of techno fans. So with it all in place, it makes more sense. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would probably have to check out the artist's other stuff. This album it didn't do a lot for me.
All right. I mean, that's fair enough. I do quite enjoy this album, especially, again, as I've mentioned on our family meeting about music listening habits. I discovered this during my music listening renaissance, as I describe it. So I had this on loop pretty frequently at like a certain point in my life. And I do really enjoy it for what it is. I feel like as like this proto electropop album. It very much achieves what it seeks out to do in a very engaging way with like, even though there's only 4 people and like very little instruments, just they have all these different kinds of synths and electronics, they are able to utilize them all very well to create these very lush or like cold, distant soundscapes that like you can convey or portray perfectly like in your mind. The different sound fonts they use on each one of the synthesizers, they apply to each track perfectly and convey a tone or scene that encapsulates the spirit of each track. While the vocals are pretty sparse in terms of lyrical content, their utilization is very effective and memorable for that reason. Though the album does have a little bit of a pacing issue. It's not super bad as it flows decently nicely, but some tracks do overstay their welcome, especially towards the end with the Man Machine. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Man Machine's not a great closer.
It's either. Not the best, but I can see thematically possibly it. Like,
it working, but sonically, not the best to listen to.
New wave.
Yeah, but the highs are very high, like Neon Lights, Metropolis, Spacelab even. And
Spacelab's pretty good.
Then, of course, The Model, I just think is a fantastic song. It's their most popular for a reason.
Oh, it is? It's the most popular?
I'm pretty sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just really like well constructed. I think it's very much, you can see where the influence would go afterwards to inspire these like generation-defining electronic artists. And I really enjoy revisiting it every now and then. With its infectious rhythms, melodies, and hooks wrapped up in a mechanical aesthetic that never gets old. I'm going to give this album a B+.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was a nice little thing at the end there.
Thanks, man.
I forgot my number rating. I gave it like a 5.6.
Okay. It's fair enough.
I feel like this album has the potential to grow on me, maybe a little bit. So maybe I'll give it like another listen later down the line.
Yeah.
But
as of now.
As of right now.
Hey, that's okay.
It can't all be American football.
Exactly. But maybe this will be an American football situation one day.
Maybe it will be.
But something that certainly isn't is this next album, Voulez-Vous by ABBA. And I mean that in a good way.
Oh, you meant it in a good way?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this album.
You don't like Voulez-Vous?
I'm kidding. I love this album.
I was like, what the fuck?
That would have been insane. If I made you listen, have I ever brought on an album that like I fucking hate to a family album?
I don't. Give Me the Future. I don't know if that really counts.
No, because I liked it a little bit, and then
at that point,
and then after we reviewed it, I hate it now.
I don't really know. Pray for the Wicked.
Oh yeah, that's true. I do not like that album.
Yeah, but we knew what we were getting into at that point.
That's true. That's true. That might be the only one. But yeah, no, I fucking love this album.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This album is very, very good. Mm-hmm. I think I should do a history first before I get into my next thought.
All right.
So Voulez-Vous by ABBA was released on April 23rd of 1979 through Polar, Epic, and Atlantic Records. Epic Records, I believe, was one of the same ones that Meatloaf was signed to at one point.
Very cool.
I'm pretty sure we said that on a previous episode. Mm-hmm. And it is this record is their 6th studio album. Nice. Members of the band include, oh God, Bjorn Ulvaeus.
Swedish.
Very much.
Yeah.
Bjorn Ulvaeus, Benny Andersson, Agneta Faltskog, and Annie Frida Lingstad.
And like they all spell ABBA, right?
They do.
All their initials.
They do. Well, one of the A's.
Yeah.
Her name is like Annie Fried, but she goes by Frida.
Okay.
Yeah. She's my favorite.
Because Abif wouldn't work.
Abfa.
My favorite Wicked character, Fubu.
This album is weird when it's critical reception.
Okay.
Like it's I don't know. Like I think a lot of people generally enjoyed it. Like from what I could tell, there were a lot of really high reviews. But some of the critics are like, the ABBA community doesn't really like the fact that it's just switching over to disco. And
r/ABBA.
Yeah, r/ABBA. No, but it was generally received well when it released, and it is very much received well
now.
Yeah. This was an album that I had looked up, like, oh, what's the most accessible ABBA album? And a lot of people were saying this one, which I can definitely see why. There are a lot of great moments on here.
Yeah.
There is one moment really on here
questionable moment
where I'm kind of like, oh, okay.
One of the bees got carried away.
Oh, Bjorn. But
Without further ado, should we just hop right into it then?
Let's do it.
All right. So this album opens up with As Good As New, and yeah, really fucking good opener.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the strongest. Like, I would argue that there might be some tracks on here that could have worked a little bit better as an opener.
Yeah.
But I don't think the song is bad at all.
It's very like Mamma Mia coded.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And this is before that even.
Yeah. So for the musical, did they write the music for the musical, or did they just like take ABBA songs to perform in the musical?
I believe that the people who wrote Mamma Mia took the pre-existing ABBA songs for their musical.
To use the musical.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
to underscore it.
I see.
Like, I definitely don't think that these were written for Mamma Mia.
Fair enough.
Because that would be... Because Mamma Mia is like more than this album. Mamma Mia is like I'm pretty sure a compilation
Of like their whole career.
of like 4 albums.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Dancing Queen's not on here. Lay All Your Love on Me is not on here. Fernando is not on here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of songs that are known through Mamma Mia that are not on this album.
Gotcha.
But there are a few that are. Including,
Yes, there are.
Including the very Bjorny one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They repurposed it in a way that's like kind of funny, but
Okay.
like, we can get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I think it's a pretty like serviceable opener.
Yeah.
It doesn't really like draw me in that much as a song. Like, it sounds really, really good. And I love their energy throughout this entire album, but it's good that it shows you what you're like getting into.
Yeah, very much.
I think there are some, sorry, you go.
Oh, no, you're good.
I was going to say like I think there's just a couple parts where musically it feels a little choppy.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. There's like a part where there isn't really anything like padding out, like no like synths or anything like that. It's just the vocals and the drums and
it's
something.
the choruses, right?
I think so, yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, it feels a little bit choppy from the rest of the song a little bit. Like, it feels like you're just unplugging someone's amp and then plugging it back in for the verses.
It's a very jarring switch up.
A little bit, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, but I think it makes up for it with that fucking filthy bass line in the intro. Oh my god.
Dude, the bass on this album is
crazy.
fucking unreal
I love
at
it.
parts. Like, oh my god. I also think the guitar riff is
man.
really, really nice. Like, Jesus. Yeah, no. The vocals are also really, really good here. Yeah. Agnieszka and Frida are stunning vocalists. Like,
And they combine very well.
they are. They do. They are. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have a lot else to say about it in comparison to quite a few other tracks.
Yeah, I do like that they introduce like the string section like from the rip as well, and like I like how the strings are used more in the verses as well as the piano. Or sorry, in the choruses, and then the bass is like very heavy in the verses. I feel like that's like a nice like cool switch above the melody. And there's a cool key change at the end.
There is a cool key change at the end. Yeah.
But let's move on to a much better track. We got Voulez-Vous.
Dude, this song is so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Voulez-Vous. Like, oh my god. One of the things I do like about ABBA, it's like some can view this as maybe like a bit of a drawback when listening to their music, but their lyrics are like not very smooth or smoothly delivered.
Yeah,
but it's kind of charming in a weird way. You
very
know,
much.
like
there's that like language barrier, that slight disconnect.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I forget what the exact lyric on this song is that like made me write this. But something about it is like it's a little goofy, but like I fuck with it a little bit. The music definitely makes up for it, and their performance.
Yeah, like this song definitely embodies just like the overall spirit of disco.
I don't know if I also said Agnieszka and Frida are the 2 lead vocalists of ABBA. Benny Andersson plays piano and Bjorn plays guitar.
Gotcha.
I don't think I ever actually said like in my
what they
history.
do.
Yeah. And then they have like a plethora of musicians.
Yeah, just coming and doing everything else.
That I'm not going to name. There's too many. There's way too fucking many of them.
Yeah, they're just ABBA 1 through 12.
Exactly. The lowercase. But yeah, no, this is a very good track. It lives up to title track.
Very much
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Voulez-Vous, I forget what it said it meant in French. I think it was do you want to? I think is what it said.
I don't remember. That'll be in the description.
In the description.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to?
There we go.
Yes.
I do want to.
AJ, still put it in the description.
Okay.
You know?
Why not?
I read it.
Let's pad out that description. Get a little more numbers. These are caps.
Let's cite our sources.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do very much like this track a lot.
Yeah. The chorus is so fucking catchy. Like that horn riff that is used for the accents after they say the lyrics is like really fucking well done. Very much encapsulates the spirit of disco. I also love the pre-chorus delivery, like how fun it is with like the instrumentals ascending with the vocals is really cool. The bass is still kicking ass all the way through this entire album.
Oh my god, yeah.
Not as prominent in the mix, but it's still there, like keeping things going, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I also like the bongos they have during the bridge.
Yeah, dude, the fucking hand drum percussion.
Yeah, man.
That shit fucks.
And it does.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of like Cat's Eye by Henri.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Like it really reminded me of that. I almost kind of wish this was the opener, like low key. But I can't like rip on As Good as New. It's still good.
Yeah.
As New.
So you said this album was like them transitioning into disco.
I believe so. That's what a lot of the critics were saying.
Gotcha. So like were they a little more like pop then beforehand?
They were a little bit like folk pop.
Folk pop, okay.
Like I remember I tried listening to one of their earlier albums. Like I tried to listen in chronological order. I don't really recommend that.
Okay.
Like they're not bad. Like none of the songs are bad. It's just like I think they really just shine in their disco era.
Yeah.
When they dip into more of their electronic and like dance club beat kind of elements. Like it goes so fucking hard.
I see.
But their folk stuff is not bad. Like I definitely think check it out. They use a lot of studio imagery.
Interesting.
That
cool.
Not like a lot, but like a bit.
Yeah.
A bit of
like for the
studio
time
imagery.
is cool.
Yeah. For ABBA, that's pretty cool.
Exactly. If you got nothing else, we can move on to the next track.
I definitely had something else.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Chord progression wise, I really like how it goes into like the E major, like it starts off with like the E major like chords that they're playing, and then it goes back into like the A minor like chord progression, like the start of the A minor chord progression or whatever, as they're beginning the verses.
Okay.
But then as they end the chorus, it ends in the E major thing and goes right back to it. So it almost seems like it's like a fun little leading tone.
Can you explain this again with the skyscraper?
So Benny Andersson rises to the top. I just think it's cool how they start the song with like the leading tone, like chord, and then it goes into like the actual verses, and then it ends in the leading tone. It feels like it just repeats itself over and over.
Gotcha.
It's just a neat thing. Like I remember I thought it was a little jarring in the beginning, but then when I listened to it again recently before we recorded, I was like, oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I always love to see it.
I'm trying to make sure I can back up the fact that I can talk about music and make sure people know that I've studied music theory for like 8 years.
You're showing your credentials.
I'm qualified, I swear.
I'm probably not, but I don't give a shit.
Nah, you're
talking about whatever.
That's true. That's true. Just some fun little brain candy.
We're just two guys. We're just two dudes.
You want to know about music theory? Voulez-Vous? I don't really have much else to say about this track though.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on to I Have a Dream.
I quite enjoy this one a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice come down from the last two. And also, this is where Frida gets to sing solo. Yeah. Usually it's Agneta, the blonde one, who sings, like, who starts off solo and then, like, brings the other guys in. But Frida also has a really good voice. And I feel like she gets overlooked a bit in the band.
Gotcha.
So I'm here for you, Frida.
Nice. I'm all my Frida heads.
I am a Frida head. I like the guitars on this one too.
Yeah, man. Almost sounds like a mandolin or something.
Yeah. It's like so twangy, but like at the same time, like I don't know, almost like sitar-ish. Yeah. Like it's something weird about it.
It has like that vibrato nature to it when it plays.
It does.
Yeah.
Like it kind of dips more into like the psychedelic 70s tone, which I really, really appreciate for that guitar riff. And then like the actual song has a bit of like a yacht rocky feel.
Okay. I said like more like Beatles-esque, like kind of like 60s or like late 60s, like psychedelic inspired.
I can kind of see that, like a bit of like an Abbey Road, sort of like feel to it. Definitely. Just
in terms of like the songwriting structure and just like how intimate it sounds, but it is still like very full and lush, especially when everything comes in after the first chorus. Like that's a really nice moment. And like the sentiment of the song is also just like really sweet about, you know, like believing yourself and pushing through those tough times.
Yeah. Isn't this the other thing where they say like, I believe in angels?
Yeah.
And all that shit. Yeah, no, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
I don't think people talk about this one very often. This might have been one of the singles.
Okay.
So I know they had 5 singles total. I believe number 3, like the third single, was 2 songs that were released in one. But I don't remember what they are offhand.
I know the last, I think, 3 tracks of this album I don't think they were like included on the base version, but they're included on Spotify.
Yes.
So I don't think any of those were released with this album.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say my girlfriend really likes the song, and I could see why.
Yeah, no, this song
it's very sweet.
Very, very nice. I've come to really enjoy it.
I think it's necessary on this album.
Without a doubt.
Next up, we have Angeleyes, and this one's really catchy.
The song is a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I would say this is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite on this album. Actually, no, I know what my favorite one is.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely know what my favorite one is. It's later. Yeah, no, this song, though, I will give it credit because this song's kind of how I got into ABBA.
Okay.
Like one of the deciding factors that got me into ABBA to like listen to more of their stuff and then bring on a full album of theirs. Yeah, no, this song is really, really fun. I think Frida and Agnieszka's vocals are really sparkly.
Okay.
On here.
Yeah, very much so.
They're so lush with the keep thinking about the angel like something about it.
The string like riff going along with it, the plucks, that's really cool too.
It's very cool. Also just like the pre-chorus like little like melody.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. That shit is good. That shit is fun, man.
It is. It's a really fun song. I like how it has like a more kind of like laid back melody at the beginning before getting like more energetic into the chorus. And the chorus is just like really fucking catchy.
It is.
Through and through. It's about like a warning about this dude who's like a smooth talker, doesn't mean a word that he says. And be wary of his hypnotizing gaze.
Yeah.
But the strings and the keys go really fucking hard on this track.
Do go really hard.
Yeah.
I feel like in the mix they're not as prominent as a lot of the other instruments, but they do go really, really hard here.
Very nice.
I would agree. I feel like the bass could maybe be like a little more on this one.
Yeah, I feel like after the opening track, the bass kind of like its prominence in the mix kind of like varies.
It ebbs and
flows. It dodges and weaves.
Yeah, no, this is a cool track.
Yeah,
genuinely, I like this a lot. I don't think I have much more to say about it.
No, I said my piece.
Yeah,
and I guess that song has lost its crown. The next one is called "The King Has Lost His Crown."
This track also really grew on me. I don't think I really liked it that much when I first listened to it, but I believe this is another Frida song.
Gotcha.
Which I fuck with very much.
I like the overall, like, almost like proggy theatrical nature the song has, especially during the choruses where it sounds like almost like a march, with like those diabolical like guitar licks. Like that's such a really cool moment. I was not expecting that on this album.
Yeah, Bjorn is fucking filthy on guitar, man.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of wild. I like how the Wurlitzer. There's like a bit of a whirly thing that goes on, and like I forget where exactly it is in the song, but I remember thinking like, okay, Benny Anderson, okay.
It's when he says, "The one with the Wurlitzer."
The one with the Wurlitzer. Oh my god. I also think the vocals might be some of the best on this track.
Yeah,
like without a doubt.
I can see that. They're very much like very leaning into that to like really convey that sense of emotion that this track is conveying.
The drums are also really good on this one too. I really like the way the drums are. Yeah, this might be a top 5.
Really?
Like this might slot somewhere.
I gotcha.
Let me see if I can figure it out by the end of this album review.
Well, stick around then, family heads.
Anything else to say about this track?
I just think it's like a really cool change of pace that I wasn't expecting to see here. I like that it's kind of like a nice revenge track, throwing like failure back in like the ex's face.
Yeah.
That's very satisfying to listen to.
It is.
And I just love like how present and prominent the guitars are all over this track. Even like they have a small part, they are noticeable, and it makes the track even better whenever they appear.
Yeah.
Next up. Oh boy.
So
Ay caramba.
I had no idea that this song was even on the album or that this was a song in general.
Same here. Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to like this song. It's really creepy.
Yeah. It's strange. So the overall concept of this song,
first of all, is called "Does Your Mother Know?"
Uh-huh.
And do you want to explain it, or do you want me to explain it?
So from what I gather, it's basically like the narrator is at a club and he spots a younger girl.
Yeah.
But who he knows is underage. And the song is kind of like a quote unquote like innocent song, basically being like, oh, you know, like you're underage, you can still have fun. We can't do anything, but I can flirt with you a little bit and we can dance, but I'm not going to do anything.
because
of the implication.
Like the first because of the implication. Yeah. And you won't say anything because of the implication. God.
Does your mother?
Jesus. Putting this in the context of Dennis Reynolds is the worst thing we could do to this song. But it's already not great.
It is honestly in character though, unfortunately.
The big thing about this song is like, I know you said like it's like innocent enough, but like the first lyrics are quite literally, "You're so hot, you're teasing me," and they says like, "Oh, I see it in your eyes, I know what you want," and all this shit. Like, and it's like, Bjorn, hey buddy,
easy buck. How old are you? Like 30?
I don't know how old he was here, but definitely not
a minor.
Yeah. Losing my religion. Oh man. Yeah, no, this song I don't think sonically even really fits on the album either.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting they gave him specifically a song to sing.
Yeah. I really don't know why.
Yeah. Does he usually sing on like has he ever before? Okay.
No, I mean, like he might sing again like on other albums, but he typically does not.
I see.
Like it's usually always Frida and Agnieszka.
Interesting.
Benny and Bjorn really don't sing that much.
Maybe this was his one shot and they're like, nah, never again.
Yeah. No,
he blew it.
The weird thing about this song is like, I don't know I don't know what the fuck. I
don't know.
Why am I talking like that? I don't know.
My mother does not know.
Oh, you're so hot. You're teasing me. I am Bjorn.
That's what he sounds like. Bjorny, Bjorn.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Bjorn. All right, Bjorn, get out of here. Jesus fucking Christ.
Holy shit.
What I was trying to say was, I don't know exactly like timeline wise when this happened or when this like release compared to I don't think I mentioned this. Agnieszka and Bjorn were married.
Okay.
At one point.
Gotcha. And then they divorced.
Eventually they did.
Uh-huh.
I don't know exactly like if this was during, before, or after.
Gotcha. Well, like after they divorced, were they still like in the band together? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But the whole thing, I feel like no matter where you try to like figure out where the song was placed, it just doesn't look great.
That's true. Yeah.
Like there is no way that like Agnieszka was like married to Bjorn, whether it was during or after, and she was like, "Oh, you wrote this." Yeah.
You want me to sing this chorus?
Oh boy. I don't love that. Oh God. If it was before and she still married her, that would be a little weird.
That's crazy.
Not gonna lie to you. But enough like just talking about how weird the song is.
Yeah. From a musical standpoint, it's okay.
It is okay.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of a lot of the rock, I think, at the time. Kind of like almost like a Lynyrd Skynyrd kind of.
Yeah,
like,
it has that almost like rock, not the rockabilly, but like more like, I guess like harder rock, like roots rock a little bit.
Yeah, I would say like Run Run Rudolph.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Chuck Berry core.
Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad way to describe it. Kind of like Chuck Berry core.
Like old school
rock and roll. Yeah, there we go. There we
That's
go.
it.
It's like a puzzle.
Exactly.
You see, if you decoded that message we said earlier, you would have been like way ahead of us.
That's what we do every time we speak.
God. Yeah, no, this song is
it's strange.
It's strange. I remember when the beat started happening, I was like, okay.
There's a nice sax solo.
Reminds me of like Tiffany's cover of I Think We're Alone Now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this could be good. And then like the guitars come in, I'm like, okay, this could be good.
You're so hot.
And I was like, oh, you're so cute.
That song off the Plastic Company's album is really the Does Your Mother Know?
You know, it kind of is.
In a way, yeah.
I would agree.
Except it's about George Clooney instead of a minor.
That's true. I wonder if this person that he's talking about in the song is somebody who smiles even when they're not supposed to be happy, like I mentioned before.
Yeah, go check out that episode.
It was fun. It was a fun one. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like sonically it doesn't really work on the album either.
Yeah,
especially compared to like everything that like
preceded it
both musically and like thematically.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, technically, it kind of would, because Voulez-Vous means "do you want to?"
and they're dancing.
Yeah, they're dancing. And
unfortunately,
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, and they're flirting a little,
just a little bit,
just a little
bit, not too much.
Because the mother does not know.
I feel like we need to move on from this track before we get subpoenaed.
Next up is actually one of my favorite tracks on the album. If it wasn't for the Nights, I really like this one a lot.
This one is very good.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I first heard it, I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Like, this might be a hot take. I think this might be better Dancing Queen.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Yeah, this is very Dancing Queen coded.
But I fuck with it like a lot.
I agree. I really, really like this track. It's almost like a Trojan horse kind of track where it's like a very like positive, upbeat song in like terms of melody, but like the lyrics are a lot darker.
Yeah.
Because it is about divorce and just how it keeps you up at night when you have nothing else to think about.
Oh shit. Maybe this was
that's
after.
What I was gonna say. Fuck yeah.
We solved it.
It's the timeline.
Shit, man. This is like the 39 clues or some shit.
Dude, we deciphered it.
Oh, man. This song is really good. I love the juxtaposition between the lyrics and the overly happy instrumental, like you mentioned. It's so good. Like, the chorus is probably one of the best ones on here.
It's such a good cook. It's such a good hook.
It fucking cooked.
Yeah, it
That's
literally
all you need
cook. And I also like really love how they're using more of their high range on the choruses as well.
Yeah.
It sounds like just a classic dance track. The keys are also really nice.
Oh my God, yeah.
They carry a lot of the melody when the guitars aren't part of it. And the bass also fucks all the way down on the chorus.
It really does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The guitar has like a bit of a wah effect.
Yeah, man.
I forget where it's placed in the song, both like periphery wise and like where in the song, like timeline wise.
Yeah.
But my God, like everything on here just, it ABBAs so well.
That it does.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't know this song, like if someone described this song, if someone played the song and you didn't know it was ABBA, and
you could pick it up,
you would know it's ABBA. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I think I very much like, I don't want to just compare it to Dancing Queen, but this song is very similar to Dancing Queen, but I think I might like it a bit more.
I agree.
Mostly because just the satisfaction of discovering it so much later than Dancing Queen.
And being able to like appreciate that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I fuck with this track a lot. It's very good.
It's up there for me.
Anything else to say about it besides the fact that it's just really good?
Not really. And that also might apply to this next one, Chiquitita. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love this song.
Okay.
This might be my favorite track on the album, actually.
Gotcha.
Just because, like, it starts off so, like, small and, like, quiet. Kind of like Chiquitita herself, apparently.
She's been described as...
Yeah, I mean, they literally said it in the song. But then once the chorus actually hits, the Chiquitita, dun, 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 like something about it, I'm like, oh my God. I also think it's the most different sounding on the record.
There's like a lot of like
Does
Latin.
Your Mother Know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's for different reasons. But like there's like a nice like Latin influence all across this album, especially in the intro with that like acoustic guitar and like the almost like classical style piano.
Yeah.
That one's really nice. And I do agree with you. Like that big hit on the chorus is very satisfying. I just think the choruses are like a little long.
That's a good point.
They just kind of like just keep going.
They really, really do.
Yeah.
I do very much love the ending. Yeah. Where Benny Anderson's like, like, oh my,
it's like carnival music. It's cool.
He just fucking goes off for like the last like minute of the song, and it just keeps looping and looping and looping. It's like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
it's fucking perfect.
It's what Chiquitita would have wanted.
Truthfully, there is a Spanish version of the song that they sing.
Very cool.
And it's very good.
Nice.
High key recommend listening to it. Both AJ and our audience. It's very good.
Only AJ has to listen to this one.
Yeah, actually they do a bunch of Spanish renditions of their songs.
I guess like Fernando would be one of them.
Yeah. All their ones that like
have like names.
That have Spanish stereotypical names.
Surprisingly, they don't do Does Your Mother Know? It's weird.
Wait, actually they might.
Ooh. All right, we'll be right back.
They do not.
Well, the age-old question.
They do have Mamma Mia though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. I mean, that checks out.
It's that's Mamma Mia, Does Your Mother Know?
They're pretty on the same plane,
song.
literally.
They're in Mamma Mia. They're both in Mamma Mia.
So by that sheer fact, that is a objectively good song that more people should listen to and make Spanish versions of.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. If you'd like to send any of their Spanish versions of the song, like a cover,
Yeah.
just email me at mclass@catboy.
The implication that like you don't even need the @catboy, that's just part of your username.
Yes, it's part of it.
Yeah.
All the cat boys, you know what I mean?
Catboy @hotmail.
God, yeah.
Holy hi caramba.
Chiquitita.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I do like this track a lot. This one trended on TikTok for a little while, and people were doing covers of like the piano part.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool.
I actually really want to learn it. It looks really, really fun.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it would stress me out to try and learn, but it's.
I think it'd be worth giving it a shot.
I think so too.
Yeah.
At time of recording, I just purchased a new keyboard.
Oh shit.
And I'm fucking excited as fuck.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Oh man.
And now you're gonna break it in with Chiquitita.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And does your I am Lord.
Chiquitita.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anything else to say about it?
No, I mean I feel like the big thing that I take away from this track is like the music. I think is like the high point.
Oh, without
just
a
like
doubt.
the instrumentation.
Yeah.
But the hook, I'm not really like a big fan of. The narrative is nice and like what it's trying to do, which I appreciate a lot. But I feel like it goes on like a little too long, and it's just kind of losing my attention about like halfway through.
I got you.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think it's solid for what it is.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Lovers, parentheses, Live a Little Longer, and I quite enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it's a good track objectively. I just don't think the music really fits with what they're talking about, if I'm being quite honest with you.
So what's the song about then?
I think it's supposed to be like a nice sentiment, or even like maybe a sexy-ish sentiment.
Okay.
Where they're talking about like, oh, like they're trying to say that like scientifically it's been proven that people who are in love and are, you know, getting down with it, they live a little bit longer. And that's kind of what the whole song is about.
Gotcha. Okay.
And like, I don't really know what the tone is, if it's supposed to be like more sexy or if it's supposed to be like sweet. I just don't really think it translates that well musically.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's kind of ritzy, which can be sexy. It's not like, I don't know.
It's overly produced.
A little bit,
in a
yeah.
way.
Overly produced is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I did actually quite enjoy this one, at least musically. The bass line like really holds this song the fuck down.
It does.
And it also complements the strutting, confident delivery of the vocals, which have, to me, almost like an R&B kind of funk sound, which I really liked a lot. As I also like the drums. They kind of support the track with a fat beat. And yeah, I just find it like very funky and has a really nice hook that I quite enjoy listening to. Even though it's a little basic, I just like how it sounds overall.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that the vocals are also pretty good. Like you said before.
Yeah.
I didn't get much of an R&B feel, but I could probably see what you mean if I listened to it again, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. If you live a little longer.
But yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I don't really have too much else to say about it.
Nah, and we're approaching the end of the bass album specifically. So
That's
shall we
true.
hop into the closer, Kisses of Fire?
Yes.
So I think this one is okay.
I agree. I think like this one fooled me because I thought that this was going to be like a slower and like softer song.
Yeah.
And then it really just punches you in the face once
Kisses of Fire.
Yeah, no, the piano is so good on this one though.
It is really good.
I will say.
Yeah.
Like in the very beginning in that little intro. But then like they really start to punch it and it gets like really, really like high energy.
Yeah.
The fucking deep ass voices that go like kisses of fire. I'm like, all right.
There's a nice like halftime break that happens after the chorus, which is really cool. With
Yeah.
those, like, with again the ominous spooky vocals and keys. I just think like the chorus is like kind of lacking,
I would
especially for
agree.
like a closer. Is pretty stinky.
It does make me thankful that they added 3 more later on because I
Yeah.
think the one that's at the very end is a much better closer.
Agreed. It's one of their most famous songs for a reason.
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel like they don't really add anything thematically with this song either.
Nah, not really. I guess it's just about more love, more loving.
Yeah. Kisses, fire.
It's got it all.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to read that this was like the closer of the bass album because I was like, oh,
Interesting.
Kind of not like a letdown per se, but like
it could have been stronger.
It doesn't really live up to everything else that we've heard on this record.
Yeah, especially Does Your Mother Know.
Yeah, no, like, god damn.
Jesus Christ. For legal reasons, that was facetious.
That was a joke. Yeah. That was a complete joke. Anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
It is kind of lame. But
hop into the bonus tracks?
Can I just say?
Yeah.
2 out of these 3 bonus tracks are fucking amazing.
I agree. I actually agree with that a lot.
I'm curious to see which ones, but I will start off by saying this next one is so fucking good in my opinion.
Summer Night City fucking rips. Dude, the keys are so fucking dirty.
The bass on this one,
man.
And I'm like,
I just love how filthy the guitars are during the verses and the choruses as well.
Summer Night City.
And they have wind chimes.
They do have wind chimes.
And the wind chimes do fuck.
They do. I think I accidentally listened to this. I tried listening to this album, like before I even knew I was going to bring this to you. I tried listening to this album like through.
Yeah.
And this one came on, like I didn't realize I had shuffle on. So this one came on after the first one that I played. And oh my God, man, like when this came on the car ride home from somewhere, I was fucking vibing. Just, it's so high energy.
I know, man.
Like it's got that like cat's eye energy, like I mentioned
almost
before.
Almost like dark synth wavy bit, like a little bit. Yeah. Very much feels like a really like dirty disco track, which I fucking love a lot.
No, for real, for real. When they lean into the disco, it really fucking works, man.
They play to their strong suit.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
And I love how both the verses and the choruses like continue up the energy. Like it's like honestly on this album, ABBA has like a habit of giving a unique identity to verses and choruses and like really changing it up. Yeah. But like even though they're different, like it keeps up the energy, which is really nice. It's not like a jarring switch like on the opener. Yeah. 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 Yeah, no, this track fucks. It's I almost kind of wish it was on the bass album. Agreed. This could have been a great closer. Honestly, yeah. Low key. There are a couple tracks off the bass album that could be swapped around, which would make it a lot better. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Especially pacing wise. Yeah. But this next one, I don't think is one of them. This next one, honestly, could have been taken off entirely. Agreed. I think it's boring. It's really boring. Yeah. It sounds like an ELO song, which I think is kind of weird to hear in an ABBA context. Agreed. Like, it's called Lovelight, original version. There's a story behind this song and why they even decide to include it at all. Okay. I don't know it. I didn't really care enough to know about it because, quite frankly, it's just boring. Like, yeah, there's really nothing like redeeming about it. They literally only did it to separate Summer Night City and the next track. Yeah, because those sound similar-ish. So you need that palate cleanser. You do, and yeah, no, it is very much the like matzah cracker of music. The saltine of music. Lovelight by ABBA. I like the little break during the verses where like everything but like the bass and the drums drop out, and it's a really like nice lead up into the chorus. But it's just like really basic at the end of the day. And also the chorus sounds like Angeleyes. Yeah. Lovelight. Come rescue. Hey guys, does your mother know? Please don't tease me. My mother doesn't know, so just please don't. It's my very first dance. I'm out super late. Not again. God damn it. I can't escape it. Oh man, thank God it's almost the new year. That should be our New Year's resolution. Yeah, stop bringing up Green Lovers. How many episodes can we stop bringing up Green Lovers? Hopefully a lot. Oh man, we'll bring it back for family vacation. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how we're going to do that. Or how I'm going to do that. But that's another New Year's resolution that Matt's totally going to remember. Yeah, totally. And like if he does it, I'm going to play a clip of that on his first episode of Family Vacation. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll remember it just like yours. Like I'll remember Chapel Roan. Exactly. Oh man, what a year! What a year it's been. Happy New Year, guys! Happy New Year. We're almost done. Exactly. We're almost done. Since we're almost done, should we just get right into this last track? Yeah, fuck it. All right, Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight, one of ABBA's biggest songs, and for great reason. If this was the closer on the bass album, holy fucking shit, dude! Yeah, like that. First of all, it's got that really cool
like intro with the guitar and the synths and stuff, and then like the synth lead. Oh my god,
sounds like a flute.
So good, it does.
Yeah, it fucking rules. It has that really like dark, mysterious tone, and then like you get into the verses that just sound so like badass. Yeah, just like their like overall confidence and delivery, especially with the backing vocals that back her up after she sings like each stanza, is such a like a nice touch.
It is, and the fucking pre-chorus where it's like, "There's not a soul out there.
Dun 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 dun.
Don't you hear my prayer?"
And then the strings just go fucking wild.
Oh man, I wish you could have seen us doing that. Family heads.
Exactly.
AJ and I were dancing.
That we were.
Yeah, he, you know, he's so hot. He's teasing me. But his mother
flirting a little bit.
His mother doesn't.
Flirting just a little bit.
Just a little bit. God.
I'm not going to do anything, but I can still flirt.
Does your mother know, but his two men are like the exact same age? Oh my fucking god. Anyway, yeah, this song is amazing. I wish it was included, one, on the bass album.
Yeah.
And two, I wish it was like the actual closer. But I think a lot of people have kind of just adopted this as like
the unofficial
closer.
Yeah.
God, it just, the energy on this song is honestly, it's unmatched by any other song on this record.
I would agree.
I would say like this has to be somewhere in my top 5. Like I could see this being number 1, but like there are other songs on here that I really, really like.
Plus, it's like it's technically not on the album. It feels like a little unfair.
A little bit, but we've had albums with bonus tracks that don't fucking matter.
That's really true.
All of Bleachers by Bleachers. Those fucking bonus tracks sucked ass.
The dumb shit on Crybaby.
The dumb shit on Crybaby. Badlands by Halsey, low key.
The dumb shit on Badlands.
The fucking dumb shit on Badlands. I'm sure the entirety of the bonus tracks on F1 Trillion.
Yeah, all 18.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. Yeah, no, this track is amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really great hook on the chorus. It's very recognizable for a reason. The overall construction is fantastic, with every piece of like the instrumental just complementing the other very well. And just like a great licks and hooks that just like really just keep you engaged, and it just has the energy to make you want to dance. And
I think what I really love about this track the most is that the bridge, they really dip into like a lot more of the techno elements, and it's just, they do it so well.
They do.
Like, oh my God. Just impressive. I think a lot of people adopt this as like the real closer, quite frankly, because it's fabulous.
I would agree.
But that's all I got to say.
Pretty much, me too. And I guess that'll bring us to our final thoughts. Should I go first since it's your album?
Sure.
All right. This is a very fun album through and through. ABBA is a very talented band that has a knack for making you groove. The instrumentals are surprisingly impressive. I was honestly like taken aback by how good they were.
Me too. It's okay. Honestly, me too.
I wasn't expecting like that level of production on like a disco album from the 70s, but like the string arrangements, the horns, the guitar work, the bass work, the drums, the vocals, everything is just so lush and brilliantly performed and constructed. I was blown away. Of course, the highlights go to the bass. Like, it is pivotal for like keeping up that momentum and that groove.
Yeah.
And like it's just fucking nasty. I love those bass licks. They're fantastic. The guitars also have a really like nice like wide range of sounds that complement each track. Well, especially for like both the high energy and the low energy moments, they're always fantastic. And the same can be said for the keys as well. Especially with closers like Chiquitita, when they're just able to like let go and like fucking rip, they do.
Yeah.
Which I very much appreciate. And of course, the strings and the keys, or the strings and the horns, are also highlights, as they always are with me.
Yeah.
The vocals are another highlight. Like the performers, Frida and
Bjorn. Yeah.
Yeah, only Bjorn.
Frida and
Agnieszka. Yeah, they both complement each other very well with their vocal harmonies and just their layered vocals. It just sounds really nice, and they always give a good performance.
They do.
I think the pacing is fine for the most part, but that's where like my issues with the album come through.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, it's like a little on the longer side, and there are definitely tracks that don't need to be on here in the first place. Like, this album does have skips, both for me personally and just objectively.
I would say so, yeah. Like, even though a lot of their lesser known tracks are pretty good, like objectively, I could definitely see like if people could maybe just get like a little bit bored with the pacing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like Lovelight, Does Your Mother Know? These are not songs you need to listen to complete this listen.
they're songs you want to listen to.
If you're really in the mood. If your mother doesn't know.
Anyway, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
It's all right. Yeah, some tracks are like a little too long and they kind of like bring the pacing to a halt. Like even like Chiquitita, I thought like kind of lost my interest about halfway through.
I gotcha.
And there are like some filler tracks in there that aren't really super necessary. And considering they have like the bonus 3 on the end, it also just kind of like makes the bass album suffer a little bit.
I see. Yeah.
But I think it's a very enjoyable disco album that has like really impressive production and it has construction that really makes you groove. When they can write a hook, they write it very well. And I was very impressed and just blown away by how well constructed this album was.
I'm glad.
So I'm gonna give it a B+.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed.
Chiquitita is the first single of this record.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I know why, because it's fantastic. That's really there wasn't a story there. I made it sound like there was a story. Like Agneta in the studio.
Bjorn fell off a cliff.
Chiquitita, tell me what's wrong.
You have a broken leg.
Oh man. I have really grown to love this album. I kind of went into this like because I've been listening to ABBA tracks with a guest of the podcast, Emma Strauss.
Gotcha.
She and I would take a lot of car rides and listen to ABBA, and I always enjoyed what I heard. And then I would always be like, oh, like a song that I didn't know would come on. I'd be like, oh yeah, I would listen. I should really give this a listen. So at one point, especially since we're a music review podcast, I was like, oh, we should really bring on ABBA. They're kind of a staple in music, sort of, kind of.
That's true. Yeah.
Not sort of, kind of. Like very much so. Yeah, no, I am really thankful that I was able to give time to this album because frankly, I was blown away as well. I really did not expect this to be as enjoyable as it was, simply because this might be kind of a controversial thing to say. I'm full of controversy this episode.
Oh wow, Matt.
I'm
keep
not
adding on to it.
I am not the biggest Mamma Mia fan. I've watched it twice. One time I was not paying attention, but like was kind of watching it. And the second time I was paying attention and I did not care for it.
I see.
But the music was always really, really good.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so I don't really know.
Yeah, you know, it's a movie. Yeah, no, I think it's a great album though, Voulez-Vous.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy I was able to listen to it. Like I would agree there are definitely some dead spots on this album. I'm still not the biggest fan of the first track.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, like I feel like it just does not do the album justice of what you're getting into. Like it kind of does, but I just
not
don't,
to like the extent that other tracks do.
Energy wise.
Yeah.
Like I think the other tracks have so much more energy and it's like I don't know why we started with this one. Like
because as good as new, they're going into a new sound.
I guess so. You know what? Honestly, maybe that's why. But I do think that this album is genuinely like really, really a blast to listen to. It's got so much energy in certain tracks. Even the filler ones are like kind of good. A lot of the ones I fuck with are like I Have a Dream, Chiquitita. I really love that song quite a lot.
Yeah.
If It Wasn't for the Nights,
yeah, man,
that one is very good.
Voulez-Vous.
Voulez-Vous. I'll include the ones on the
bonus
extended.
Yeah.
Gimme Man After Midnight is fantastic. Summer Night City is ridiculous.
And of course, the best song on the album.
Does Your Mother Know? Yeah, Does Your Mother Know and Lovelight are tied for first.
Yeah, but that goes without saying.
Yeah, no, I figured you guys knew that already. I just didn't want to mention.
Yeah, most
it,
ABBA heads have that share that similar sentiment.
Yeah, no, but I think there is some fluff that could have been taken out. If I'm being honest with you, like
very much.
I think Does Your Mother Know? Lovers Live a Little Longer. I'm kind of iffy about this track.
Kisses of Fire.
It's all right. It's just not a good closer. Like even if they put fucking Gimme, Gimme, Gimme right after that, I would have been okay, quite frankly. But like Lovelight, like some of them could be cut out, and then it could have made the album just a bit more of a brisk listen.
I gotcha.
But I don't think it's bad though. Like I think it's still a very enjoyable like experience for what it is. And I highly recommend everybody go listen to it if you haven't already. It's fantastic.
Totally, especially if you're looking to get into disco. This is a perfect intro.
It is. I am giving this a B-.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of surprised we actually landed in like the same ish
rankings.
I definitely envision myself listening to most of this album again, but I have a feeling there's probably an ABBA album out there like in their discography that I might like more. So I would have to check, but hey, who knows?
Exactly. Maybe a future episode.
Maybe a future episode. That'd be fun.
Who's to know?
Does your mother know?
No, she doesn't.
No, she fucking doesn't.
That means we can flirt.
Tune in next episode, Family Heads. AJ and I are going to flirt.
We're not going to do anything else.
AJ did this thing with his arms that was like the intensity of the fucking like robot things from Animal Crossing, and it was fucking incredible. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a B-.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna do like a 6.9 out of 10.
Gotcha.
I think it's
fitting.
I could see this maybe moving up to like A tier possibly, but with time, maybe in our final ranking. This could be interesting what our final ranking of the season is going to be like.
I feel like so far, like we're only like 4 months or 2 months in to our album catalog, but there's been like a wide range of variety in terms of rating and quality. So I'm very interested to see how that ends up at the end of the season.
No, for real. I feel like it could very much differ.
Yeah, totally.
At times. F1 Trillion being the top, obviously.
Exactly. You see, it's funny because the letter that the album starts with is actually the letter I'm going to give it.
Oh man, that episode hasn't even come out yet. Jesus. But I got nothing else to say. We've talked long enough.
Yeah. I guess that'll do it for this week's episode of the Family Album.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Yeah, and thank you so much for listening this past year.
Yeah.
It's been a good one. A lot of fun.
And if you haven't heard us say it enough, have a very, very lovely and happy new year.
Yeah. Be safe, be smart. And does your mother know?
I hope she doesn't.
Yeah.
She'd be very disappointed.
That she would. Anyway, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
And we will see you next year with our very first guest episode of 2025.
Peace.